Disclaimer: under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use.
There is no question in my mind that he blocked you, he blocked your son, and he blocked your mother. There's no question in your mind that that happened. There's also no question in your mind that you knew by the 18th, when your check was returned for insufficient funds, that your former husband, you knew by the 18th, when you reissued the check, if you ever did your mother reissue a check?
Yes, ma'am.
On what date?
The 18th.
There's no question between the 12th and the 18th, you knew that they had had a major blow-up.
The same
That a fair
day.
statement?
Correct.
That's a fair statement.
Correct.
The same
Don't
day.
speak. Don't speak to him. Listen, don't speak to him. Stand up. Did your father ever co-sign for a car for you?
Yes, ma'am.
When?
I don't know the exact date. It
Give
was
me a
probably
year.
2 years ago.
Give me a year.
2 years ago.
How old are you?
I'm 34.
34 years old, and you needed your father to co-sign for you.
Yes, ma'am.
Very good. And when he co-signed for you, that meant that you were going to pay for the car.
Correct.
He was just co-signing because you had bad credit.
Correct.
Did you end up paying for the car?
He paid.
Just a second. That's either a yes or a no.
I made payments on the car. Correct.
No. Did you pay for the car?
I made payments for the car.
Who else made payments for the car?
He made a large payment.
And how much was a large payment?
Without my knowledge, he
No,
made
just-
this payment.
just
I
a
don't know
second.
what I don't
Just
know
a
what the
second.
total of the
How-
payment was.
just
I
a
don't
sec-
know what the total of
let's-
the payment was.
Well, you had to have owed a lot of money.
It was about-
Just a second.
Okay.
Let's play.
Yep.
Not yup. That's a yes.
Yes, ma'am.
You had to have owed a lot of money on the car for your father to have made a large payment. And if what you're telling me is I don't know how much it is, then you're more irresponsible than your mother thinks you are.
Okay.
You got it?
Yes, ma'am.
You're 34 years old.
Yeah.
You have a child on the way?
Yes, ma'am.
You have any more children?
No.
Just one?
Yes, ma'am.
On the way. So you're responsible enough to have a child. Then you should be responsible enough to know how much your father paid off on a car that he just co-signed for because you had bad credit. How much was a large payment? How much?
$7,000.
So your father paid off $7,000. And he paid off $7,000 in about what year?
2018.
Is that because you asked him?
No.
He just did it because you would be without a car, and he would be without credit.
The car was not in risk of being taken away.
Well, then he just made you a gift? Is that what you're telling me?
That's the way it seemed to me, yes, ma'am.
Well, then he's a really nice guy.
I would not argue that.
Just a second, then he's a really nice guy.
Not
he paid
arguing.
off $7,000 to his 33-year-old son of a car that you were supposed to pay off. Then it sounds like he's a really nice guy.
Not arguing that.
Great. I'm glad you're not arguing that. Now you can sit down. Just want to let you know I'm not sympathetic. Your case is dismissed. We're done. So's your counterclaim. That's silly.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I hope everybody's happy.
He did not send me a text message saying he was not going to pay.
Just gotta evaluate things as they come along.
He's a liar, and I have nothing to say to him.
I love him. I only wish